Glad to have you back. It's the Business Daily right here on Trust Television. Of course, we're looking at a topic, people or project, which should be government priority. Of course, the question of whether government should prioritize people, talking about social development or project, infrastructure development is a central debate in public policy, with modern governance increasingly shifting toward an integrated approach that views them as interdependent rather than mutually exclusive. Of course, this discussion is tied to what happened at the Federal Capital Territory yesterday, where the workers did besiege the premises there, and of course the minister had to exit there through the back door. A lot of praises for the minister for his effort in infrastructure development. What about the human capital? I mean, how much is it taking care of those who are running the ministry? I mean, quite a whole lot there. Of course, this is not just a particular about the Federal Capital Territory. This is also extend to other states as well, where over 33 trillion naira in terms of FAC allocation has been disbursed. But it does seem that poverty level keep rising at the same time where so much money is being disbursed to the state. What is the government priority in this regard? Let's talk to Mr. Wilson Agaba, who joins me virtually from Abuja here. Good morning, Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson, if you
Good morning, Yusuf. How you doing today?
All right, okay. All right, so let's look at this
Yeah,
issue.
I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, very well. I can hear you very loud and clear now. All right, the issue about priority of government is, a major concern. So much money is going to the state in terms of FAC allocation. In the last 2.5 years, over 33 trillion naira has been disbursed to state and local government. But the poverty level keep rising. Look at what happened in the FCT yesterday, where the workers besieged the premises, and of course, the minister had to take the back door to exit the premises. Talk to us about what do you think should be the key priority of government?
Mentioned during the introduction, integrated approach, and that is where I stand generally. The infrastructure is one thing, and the human capital that runs this infrastructure, maintain it, and harness its utility for the benefits of the economy are the human capital. So if we don't take care of them, we'll just have mansions that do not have workers in it. So for me, human resource development is key to every economy. You cannot have infrastructure without people. The reason you see traffic light, for instance, in the FCT, not working for months and nobody attends to it, is a human capital issue. The traffic light has been put there, the road is there, it has been energized and all of that, but it's not working. It's not doing what it should do. Why is it not doing what it should do? It's a function of human capital. The human being that should attend to it is not attending to it. And if somebody has been assigned to it, there's nobody supervising them. Or if somebody has been assigned to supervise, then the incentive for that supervision is not there. Either he's not funded enough to supervise, or the one who supervises the supervisor is not incentivized to supervise. So this accounts for why you go to offices and you see people waiting for you to grease their palm before they can do your work for you. I don't want us to start talking about the overemployment in most governments today. I don't want to talk about that because that's not the reason for today's conversation. However, in a working environment, everybody has a job function, and it is the duty of the organization to remunerate such person and provide what it takes for the person to do the job that have been assigned onto them. That is why in every organization, for every position, you have roles and responsibility, then you have privileges and entitlements. What you are entitled to, the privileges you get for doing the job that have been assigned to you. So it is not enough for us to build flyovers, to build how many lane bridges and roads and all of that. We should also take care of those that are working. And if the number of people is too high for the job roles that are existing, then of course we should figure out how to filter people out of the system. And if we cannot take them outrightly out of the system, we think of creating other productive enterprises that we can move some people into, so that anybody who collects salary at the end of the month should be doing something to add to the economy. I don't support the idea of keeping people in employment, and then at the end of the month, they are looking for their money, and you can't seem to pay them the money. These are people who have families, they have children, they have responsibility, and they have bills to pay. So no matter how small the money is, pay it to them as and when due.
Indeed. Pay it to them as and when due. Mr. Wilson, do you see this as a question of lack of inclusivity? I mean, we keep praising government. Oh, the government is doing well. They are building infrastructure. I mean, the state government is doing X, Y, Z. But the people who handle this project seems to be excluded.
Well, the thing is, I continue to tell us in Nigeria that politics is like business. Organization only produce those products that people will buy. So politicians too, an organization, what they want is to sell. So I'll produce those things that easily sells. Politicians want to keep staying in office. And to do that, they need to get people to praise them. And to be praised, they need to deliver works that are physical, something that people see. So it's better, and when you argue with people now about the performance of a government, they will tell you, tell us how many roads did he construct? How many bridges did he build? How many schools did he construct? That's what you hear from people. Nobody cares about the real blood and veins and muscles that makes these infrastructures to become useful. Nobody talks about it. So politicians usually focus on those physical things that people will see, even if some of them are whitewashed, even if some of them shouldn't be prioritized. But they do it so that they can they can give you a list of the number of bridges they have constructed, a list of the number of roads they have done, and all of that, because that's what the electorate clamor for. And that is what a politician needs. So if the electorate begin to say, okay, you have built this road, but how does it ease our movement? You have built this bridge. How does it add economic value? If they begin to question that, then you will see politicians start thinking about sustainability, start thinking about economic impact, start thinking about the overall impact on the living standard of the people. If you go to many rural areas today now, you hardly find primary health care. And if you find, it's almost like a dumpster. I took a look at one the other time and I almost puked. And that's a hospital. These are the things that affect the life of the people directly. If they have malaria, they should be able to go somewhere and get tested. Absolutely. If a woman in the rural area is pregnant, she should be able to go somewhere and be checked. And when she's due for delivery, there should be at least a primary health care to help with the delivery. We don't have all those kind of things. Go to our rural schools and see today for yourself. It has even turned to a market for young graduates who can't get job now. They come up with some form of shady, shabby building and all of that, and they start operating nursery and primary school out of there. Some of them are not even registered. But because the government schools are not functioning. And why did these things happen? Lack of payment, lack of proper infrastructure, lack of integration of the curriculum of these schools into everyday's labor market.
All right.
So certificate becomes useful, because it becomes useless. And people, apathy to these things begin to show. And we are happy that this school packed up, and there are teachers that are on the payroll of government, and every now and then they say they are going on strike or they are protesting and all of that. And politicians don't care. They focus on the physical things that people can see, that they can list, instead of reorientating the people, letting them understand that we must do the physical. But in order for the physical to become useful, there have to be the human capital who run this physical.
This physical, indeed, very, very important. Is it a question of a lack of effectiveness of governance? Because it is said that when the government is effective, they leverage the boats because we know they both are very, very important, because projects are tools that are in a way used to improve the lives of the people as well.
This has nothing to do with effectiveness. It has everything to do with willingness. The politicians have no willingness to do it. They don't want to make anything effective, because most of these people don't want to make any much effort to remain where they are. Why? If I solve a problem today, with what shall I campaign tomorrow? So what you do, you pretend to be solving the problem and you make it linger, or even widen its horizon and scope, so that by next election, you can tell the people, I'm going to fix this, I'm going to fix that. So it's a matter of clean the top of the table and break one of its leg. Or the next election, you tell them you fix the leg of the table. So that is what they keep doing. Politicians, let me tell you, if they are willing, they will be capable. Have you seen how politicians package and implement their electoral campaign? Every polling unit is covered. They get information from every polling unit, whether be it a governor, a senator, a House of Assembly, a House of Rep member, or even the president. They have their own situation room on the day of voting. Vote is coming from every polling unit, and they are calculating it before INEC declare they know their vote. So if they can achieve this, why is it difficult for them to achieve full effectiveness in integrating human resource development into the capital infrastructural development? It is a matter of allocating the resources that is given to you. It's a matter of auditing the human resource that you have within the organization. It's a matter of planning. They submit budget every year. The budget does it not cover human resource? Does it not cover the salaries, allowances, and all those other privileges that accrue to the workers? Are they telling us that when they submit their budget, they always understate what they need? No. And most time, the federal allocation covers most of their budgets. But you see these people spending money on frivolities, organizing unnecessary charade in the name of commissioning fiscal projects, spending unnecessarily, moving convoy from one place to the other, traveling up and down, wasting government resources. And then they are unable to pay people.
All right, Mr. Wilson, as we wrap up the conversation now, talk to us about the implementation strategy that you think government should adopt in ensuring that both sides are not left out.
The question is not a matter of strategy. It's a matter of, will they be willing to do it? Because it's simple. Like I just mentioned, you submit a budget. Your budget says, I'm going to do XYZ capital projects. And so capital project takes so percentage of my budget. And this other ones is going to go for recurrent expenditure. And recurrent expenditure goes to things like office maintenance, human resource, and all of those things. They are there. So what do you want to do? A budget defines how you intend to make money and spend it. And a budget must be realistic. And all of the budget they submit, all the executives agree and beat their chest and swear that they are realistic. So all they need to do is to ensure that budgets are carefully and effectively, consistently implemented to the fullest. Generate the revenue as you say you are going to do it. Allocate it as you say you are going to allocate it. Monitor how it works and ensure that it is fully implemented and properly implemented. So it is not the question of strategy. The strategy is there. It is a simple thing. If you take a simple organization, for instance, don't we have SMEs today? They buy their cars, which in this case is capital expenditure to them. They buy land to build offices, which in this case is capital expenditure. They buy plants, which in this case is capital expenditure. But they also pay their staff as and when due. So it is not rocket science. No integration and differentiation there. No differential calculus. No differential equation. There's no skyrocket, no rocket science there. It's a simple thing. Generate the revenue, allocate them accordingly. The one that goes for recurrent should go for recurrent, and the one that goes for capital should go for capital.
All right.
And of course, you must always end by saying that the Oga of them are at the background, whose hand is in everything that we are talking about, which is corruption.
Absolutely.
In public offices.
Right out of me.
We must put strategies in place to dissuade corrupt practices.
All right.
To disincentivize it.
All right.
What we have today is an encouragement for corruption, where you thief 100 billion and then you allow the EFCC and some agencies to harass you, and then you give them 10 billion and keep the 90 billion.
All right.
It's a profitable venture. That is encouraging it. We should stop giving a pat on the back. I have recommended long ago that when a public officer have been found to have stolen public money, that public officer should be made to pay that money back in full. And then interest rate should be calculated on it for the period of time he had that money. And if everything he owns cannot pay for it, everything should be seized and they should encroach that of the next of kin. So that tomorrow a child can come out and say, Papa is stealing, no, hold him now. I don't want you to hold me because of his crime. So that somebody who steals should be made so wretched that the person is begging on the street so that others can see him and say, I don't want to try this. But where a man steals and he become a mini god, he's being patronized with political expeditions and even appointments and even contracts. Everybody will see it as a good thing to do. Right. And you see Nigerians begin to aspire to do that. That is the reason you have people in offices wasting government money, squandering money, because they know that when they leave office, nobody is going to go there to ask them how they spend the money. And if we make them to do the right thing, nobody will be worried about being a godfather to anybody. Because if you have done your job well, as you are leaving the office, you don't care who is the next governor or who is the next president or whatever it is, because you have done your job according to the law.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Wisin Agaba. That's a very incisive analysis there you provided for us this morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Wisin Agaba, economic analyst, talking to us all the way from Abuja here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.